we're going to be talking about the radical implications of oneness. And I want to tell you in particular about one very serious and rather scary implication of oneness that you probably haven't thought about before, even though you've studied non-duality and you've heard about it and you've heard me talking about it. But it's one thing to kind of dabble in non-duality. It's another thing to really start to comprehend and contemplate all the full ramifications of what non-duality means. Most people have no idea what non-duality means or what oneness means. Oneness can sound like a very fluffy, woo-woo sort of phrase. Like we can say, oh, we're all one. We're all one. It's like we're all hippies and we're all one and it's love for everybody. And you probably have heard people talking about this before. And maybe it struck you as just some clever little poetic saying or just some wishful line of thinking. But I want you to take it a little bit more seriously than that. What if you were to take it literally? Non-duality. What does non-duality really mean? It means non-dual, as in not two, or advaita, not two. What does not two mean? Fundamentally, it means that there's no boundary or distinction or separation between you and anything else that you might consider other than you. So literally what this means is there's no boundary between me and you and a tree, you and a car, you and a house, you and Adolf Hitler. That's what that means. That's a pretty radical thing. People don't think this through. I want to help you to think through the full ramifications of this because this is very eye-opening and this can really change your entire orientation towards life. Because the way that most people live life and the way that you're living life, even if you have heard about non-duality, even if you agree that there is such a thing called enlightenment, even if you had a little mystical experience here or there, you still fundamentally live from a dualistic orientation of you over here and everything else, the rest of the world somewhere out there, the bad guys out there, the evil ones out there, all the demons that you create are somehow out there and separate from you. That's how most people live and how they think. In fact, their entire thinking process is fundamentally permeated by this assumption that there just is this thing of like me over here and others over there. The bad guys are out there somewhere. And that's because we, from our culture, just pick up this attitude that there are these separate individual selves, like myself over here and yourself over there, and that there are therefore multiple subjects within the universe who are looking at the universe. And some of these subjects, they're the good guys, they're the kind people, the loving people, and some of these guys, they're the evil ones, the psychopaths, the crazy ones, the terrorists, the murderers, the corrupt dictators, and this sorts of stuff. But that's all duality. Non-duality means that there's only one subject in the whole universe. What that literally means is that the thing that is looking through my eyes right now, the thing within me that is conscious of this room that I'm standing in, is precisely the same thing within you, which is conscious of the room that you're sitting in. What is that thing? What is that subject? Well, that's the transcendental I. That's the ultimate I amness, of which we talk about when we talk about spiritual truths and where we talk about the ultimate self, the absolute self. That subject, it's pure subjectivity. It's not a thing per se. There's not a thing inside of you that's looking through your eyes and experiencing everything. Actually, what's inside of you is a void. It's nothingness. So how could it be that the thing inside of me is the same thing as that's inside of you? Because it's nothingness. It's void. The void, that primordial void of consciousness that has always existed, that's eternal, that's ever present, that existed before the Big Bang and will exist long after the entire universe is destroyed. That is the ultimate absolute subject, which is experiencing the entire universe in all of its infinite forms, of which right now your current lifetime, your current incarnation is one.